Hey, Tara.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, good. I'll have to ask Amanda. I was going like full steam ahead, and then I
Mm-hmm.
went to skip trace, and I can't figure out. Well, I already uploaded it, but I can't figure out how to like clean up the list. So now I have to get the list back, and then I have to clean it up.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Let me write that down. For
Because it's
data finder.
yes, because it's already in the CSV form, so I can't really edit it from there.
You can open that in any spreadsheet program. What does you have to do to clean it?
What are you doing to clean it up?
I just have to take out any columns that I don't want them to use.
Oh, just throw it in Google Sheets.
Do you use a Mac?
I'm using an iPad right now.
Google Sheets and iPad.
So you just push it over to Google Sheets. And you
Okay.
can edit it with Google Sheets.
Okay.
Is Google Sheets an app that she needs to get?
Yeah.
It's an app that you'll probably have to download first.
Okay. It might be in my I might have it anyway. Okay.
So see if you can see if you can either, if you don't have Google Sheets, the app, then download the app and then open that file in Google Sheets.
Okay.
You can edit it and then you can finish.
Okay. How do I take it out of Data Finder because it's not in the right form now?
It's in a CSV file, right?
It is, but it has all the information. You know what I mean? Like I have to now take a bunch.
Yeah, that is the file though. That's a Excel, basically kind of like an Excel file.
Right, but when I pulled it up, it has all the columns, and some of them don't need to be used.
Yeah, so
You know what I'm saying?
delete the column.
Yeah, so put it into Sheets and then delete the column.
Right, but what I'm saying is when I upload it, I don't want them. How do I know they're going to use the right sheet?
You're not going to send them that until you have it cleaned up.
Too late. It's already in there.
Okay. Well, can you just fix it and then resend it and say don't do anything with that sheet?
I guess so. Yeah, I tried customer service, but it's just a phone call, and they want you to send an email.
Mm-hmm. I would just email them back and say, disregard the email I sent you that I already sent you. I need to clean up the sheet. Disregard that, and I'll send you the correct one in a minute.
Okay.
Or later.
Thanks.
If you still have problems with that, Tara, just let me know, okay? And
Okay.
or let Amanda know or something, and we'll get you figured out.
Okay. Thanks.
Just so you know, like those are the types of questions I ask Tyler and Amanda too.
So I'm asking good questions, I guess.
Yeah, but you know what the other thing is you can do is you can not do any of it and send it to a VA and just give them direction. So what happens when I do that, just so you know, when something like that hits me, I just push it right back to Amanda or Tyler on my team, and I just say, hey man, this thing needs cleaned up, clean it up, send it back.
Okay.
That's all I do. And that's what's good for, a virtual assistant. Like, I don't know if you've got a virtual assistant hired yet, but when you get to that point, that's the conversation you're going to have.
Okay.
So one of the things I want to talk about today, I know we've got some people jumping on. Looks like Ryan's on. Ryan, how's it going? Josh, Ravi, and Brian. How's everybody
good.
doing?
How's it going, fellas?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. One of the things that I want to talk about today, let me write a note so we don't forget. First, I want to do a Q&A on any questions you guys have. But here's the other piece. I want to make sure when you're communicating with your VA, you guys should make this as easy on you as possible, and whatever's the fastest mode of clear direction. So what I mean is, what I would do, I don't know, I told you guys the story, I'm a terrible typer, right? For me to write an email is painful. Like I write an email and it even a couple sentences takes me 5 4 or 5 minutes. It's just really bad. So I try to even avoid emails as much as possible. I don't get that many emails anymore. But what I do is there's two things you can do to communicate with your VA. You can go to your phone, and let me see if I can find the app real quick. You can go to your phone. Let's see. And there's a little on your phone. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's like this little voice memo thing. Okay. This is a standard. It comes with an iPhone. I don't know about Droids, but this little app, you click it, and then there's a red button that comes up. You hit the red button and you talk, and you get done talking. You hit the red button again, and then there's a little 3 dots over here. You hit that 3 dots, and it gives you all the things you can do. Like here's the little share. So I then hit the 3 dots, then I hit share, and it asks me where I want to share it with. And I hit the texting, and boom, I can send that to anybody. Now with your VA, you can do that, put it into an email if you want. So looks like David's on too. So does that make sense? Like there's 2 things. If you're constantly on the phone, if you're doing phone calls, your day will get burnt up really fast. What I can solve with a 30-second voice memo that the person can listen to over and over and over again if they want, what I can solve with that equals a 10-minute phone call. Because whatever it is, when you're on the phone, whatever it is, it stretches. It's just, they ask again and, hey, can I run that past you one more time to make sure I understand? Hey, let me talk to you about this other thing I want to, like, listen, just send a voice memo, then they can save that voice memo forever and always have it. And then you only had 30 seconds out of your life. So get in the habit of sending voice memos, where you don't have to type. So that's part of the communication. Now you're going to have onboarding. You're going to have, as you hire VAs, you're going to have training. Every single VA is at a certain, a higher level. Now I have hired VAs before that were just kind of ready to go. And I had to spend 5 minutes with them, and they knew what to do. Like if you've got a cold caller, a VA to do cold calling, and you use Mojo for your dialer, and they've used Mojo before, and you can simply say, I'm going to send you a list, upload it into Mojo, and have at it, then there's not a lot of training there because they already know how to do it. But you still have to watch, get feedback on what it is that they've gotten done, and a good report at the end of every day. But so get in the habit of saving time. Okay, like I told you guys, if I'm walking through my kitchen and I need to make 3 stops in my kitchen, I mathematically in my brain figure out the shortest route to all 3 stops. Why? Because I just saved 15 seconds by doing it that way. And you guys might think that's funny or whatever, but that is how I am built. Like how quickly can I do something and get it done without spending time. Like, for example, I know I do this to Tyler and Amanda a lot, and it might even frustrate them. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. If I have something I need to look for in my email, and they emailed it to me 6 months ago, I could spend the time and search my email and find it, or I could just send a text. Hey, will you resend me this email? Done. Now they're spending their time. They're faster at it anyway. They can type faster. Everything's faster. So they send it to me, and instead of me spending 5 minutes searching through email after email, I just did it in 10 seconds. Does that make sense? Like literally, if I can save myself 60 seconds or 2 minutes, I figure that out, and that's what I do. So I would recommend you guys get super efficient too, because you can get a lot more done in the course of your week, and you have more free time at the end of your week too. Don't take the long way around. Take the shortcuts every single chance you get. And the cool thing is these VAs are making, $1 an hour, $2 an hour, $5 an hour, whatever. It's not costing you anything anyway, hardly. So it's just totally worth it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I would get out of the habit of writing emails to your VA and get into the habit of sending voice messages. Now, when you do send an email, it should just be a simple process. Do this first, do this second, do this third. Okay. We're kind of in a luxury now. I've been working with Daisy, who works for me for 5 years, and she's good enough now that I don't even I do message some of the VAs, like right now I seem to be messaging Hazel a lot. She does cold calling, and I just like messaging her. She's a happy person, and she's very detailed and gives me a lot of really good information. So I'll email her, but she's the only other one. Other than that, I just send it to Daisy. Daisy, I need this done today. Find one of the VAs that has time and get it done. And I typically will copy Amanda on that too. So but that's about it. So I'm spoiled now because I've been doing the VA thing for so long that I don't even mess with the new VAs. I just tell Daisy to figure it out. And she will either write the process, we already have the process, or she will teach the new VA how to do it. That's the great thing about longevity of these VAs. Now, I have never had a VA quit me. I've fired VAs, but I've never had one quit. Because typically in the Philippines, the Philippines people, the way that their lifestyle works, and the hey Jeff, the way that they're brought up is they're very respectful. They like to be with the same company for a really long time. They don't like jumping around. They would rather dig in and be amazing and not disappoint. They never want to disappoint somebody. That's just their culture. So the Philippines, I like the Philippines for a lot of reasons. One is their English speaking ability. Two is their culture of sticking with somebody forever. And the only way they're leaving is if you fire them. Otherwise, they're sticking with you. And they want to impress you. They want to do a really good job. So that doesn't mean they're going to make it. They can have the right attitude and say, hey, I really want to do well for this company. But if they don't have the mental horsepower to do the tasks that we want, they may not make it. You see what I'm saying? So there's a personality of, hey, I'm a really hard worker and I'll do whatever it takes to do this, to make this work. But at some point, being a hard worker and not having the brain power to complete the task will eventually get in the way, and that person may just not make it. Okay. I know, Josh, you went through a couple VAs recently where you had to get rid of them, and they just weren't getting the job done. Like their urgency was not good and they just weren't catching on. Right.
Yep.
So that does happen. But your entire day is you are an orchestrator of activities. So when you get something on your plate, now this is what I'm going to burn into your brains over the next 4 weeks. When you get something on your plate, stop thinking you need to do it. Start thinking, give it to somebody else. Who else can I? So step one is getting your VA hired. Has anybody hired a VA since last week? Anybody?
I have.
Huh?
I have one working on the RVM and Podium. RVM.
Nice. Where from? How much? Where'd you find her? And how much is she making?
She was one of the ones I hired in Upwork from that exercise we did.
Okay.
She is at $6 an hour right now.
Okay. You're a big spender.
Yeah. We'll see how well she does.
I don't typically pay $6 an hour for my first one. I would be closer to $3. One of the gals that works for me, her name's Leslie. She's been with me Leslie's the one that logs into the computer behind me. She's Philippine. She makes $3 an hour and she is freaking amazing. She is fast. And I didn't even know she was only working 3 hours a day to do all that until I asked. I assumed she was full time, but now I thought it was the amount of work she was doing was taking her all day, but in reality, it was only taking her 3 hours. So I just totally filled up her schedule, and we just added 5 hours more of work a day to her plate, which is building buyers. I'm having her help me build buyers list. And because I sell turnkey, I'm having her help find new turnkey companies too, in case we have overflow with deals or overflow with buyers. You know, you can wholesale the deal. I can find a house really cheap and wholesale that deal to somebody else and make five or 10 grand, right? But I can do the same thing with turnkey as well. If I have more turnkey buyers than I can handle, I could shuffle that buyer to another turnkey supplier across the country. Like, let's say, for example, you know, I wanted to send something over to Jeff in Indianapolis. If I had an extra buyer that needed a house and he had extra houses, then I could say, hey, Jeff, give me $3,000. You take this buyer and you make whatever you want, but I want to make $3,000. See what I'm saying? I do that. So Leslie is spending 3 hours a day running all of our Craigslist ad, which right now, you guys, we just don't have many to run. We don't have hardly any vacants, which is awesome. But then she's searching for cash buyers. So right now I have her just doing Quad Cities. And then she's also finding turnkey suppliers across the country that we can trade back and forth with. So Leslie is only $3 an hour, David. So that's why, be careful, guys. Don't overpay. Don't pay too much in the beginning. You can negotiate that. Ravi, what's going on with you, man? When are you gonna have a VA? What do you got working?
Oh, from the Upwork, I got only 4 to 6 applications which were C disc test. But then I found another resource. I don't know if you're aware of it. Onlinejobs.ph.
Yep, that's another good source. Yep.
And I posted on that, and I got like hundreds of applications.
Yeah. I have used onlinejobs.ph before. Yes, it's not a bad little site.
Yeah, and I paid for it, the basic subscription, I guess $69. But I feel like it's getting on the Upwork. Most of the agencies were contacting me, and then on this website, most of the VAs are doing it, and I have like 3 to 4 only C disc test, but
Okay.
E and S, maybe 23 of those.
Okay, but you only need one VA right now, right?
Yeah.
So you got 4 to 6 to pick from. Can you pick one?
Yeah, I'm gonna do that today. I'm gonna be
Okay.
responding to some. I shortlisted a couple of them, like really strong, with experience in real estate in Philippines. So I would just try to talk to them somewhere.
Good. What about Jeff? What about you? How is everything going with your search for a VA?
Okay, I got like 5 applications, 5 people who's responded back. I haven't picked someone yet. I'm looking first for like someone who could do some cold calling. I think that's okay to do. That's
Yep.
helpful. How much do you pay?
Now remember, a cold caller is not a C personality type.
Okay, I screwed up then. I haven't hired anybody yet, so I'm good. I could use them maybe for something else then.
Yeah. So your cold caller. So 90% of the jobs you want is a C personality. Okay.
Right.
That is a detail oriented, task oriented person that you can do all kinds of different stuff.
Yes.
But the other 10% is if for a cold caller, you would want a DI.
That's right. You said that on our last recording, I think.
Or an ID. Sometimes an ID is better, but take a look at it and see.
A DI, okay. And for
because they have to be, cold calling is not an easy task. People tell you to never call them again. They yell at you. They scream at you. You can't really do like a C person. I would never make that. A D personality's got tough enough skin that they're okay with it. Doesn't bother them, but they also have the I in them that helps them really like people and want to help people.
DI for cold caller, and high C you said for just repeatable tasks, right?
Yep, you got it. So you're in the process of interviewing, but you're going to pick somebody.
I may have to change some of my parameters now because I made that mistake of not looking for the DI, which is what I want to do. But I got some C's, and so I can look at what maybe I could use those for. What are the other guys in the group using their high C's for, their C people for? What what tasks?
One of the things that you guys should do sooner than later is teach your VAs the transaction coordination. Josh, are you teaching your new VA transaction coordination? Are they doing texting and stuff right now?
They're just still doing texting and Craigslist post. I haven't got them trained up for all that. I'm just kind of, it's only been one full week as of 5 days as of today. So
what were you paying yours, Josh?
$450.
Okay.
So
Cool. So Jeff, to answer your question, again, what I want you to do now, I'm going to repeat myself a lot, you guys. I'm okay with that. I want to beat this into your brains. Yellow pad. Take yellow pad with you. As you do your tasks for the week, you write down the stuff that you need to get off your plate. That goes to your VA, right? So you're in the process of doing a deal. Oh man, I need cash buyers. I got this deal under contract. I need cash buyers. Crap, I need more cash buyers. Okay, great, no problem. Let's have the VA, the C personality, let's have them do a search to get your cash buyers, okay?
Okay.
It could be making offers. It could be helping you with comps to comp a property, right? There's a million different things that C personality can do. Personally, one of the biggest time savers, and it takes a little time to teach this, and you definitely, I kind of like Josh's approach where he's testing his VA out on texting first, because a transaction coordinator, the downside is if they've never done that before and they're brand new to transaction coordination and you're teaching them your system, I gave you guys my system, but yours is going to need tweaked. The downside is you've introduced them to your title company and you've made all these introductions and they're helping you with your transaction. And all of a sudden now they don't work out and crap, I got to fire this person. Now I got to start it over and I got to make all new introductions. So sometimes it's best to start a VA out if they have no transaction coordination experience. Let them start on other things, see how well they do. Let's see what their accuracy is. Let's see what their sense of urgency is. Let's see how much workload they get done and their productivity. And then once they've proven to you that they're pretty good with that stuff, then we can say, okay, let's start teaching this person transaction coordination. I can tell you guys right now, once you start deal flow and you're doing deals, transaction coordination is a big time saver. Like if you don't have to have that on your plate, then you can do real volume, right? It'll save you a ton of time. And more than anything, it's systemized. You can just kind of set it and forget it. And it's not something you have to worry about. Oh crap, did I forget to get the contract signed? Wait a minute, crap. I sent the guy contracts 4 days ago. I got busy with something else. He still hasn't signed them and sent them back. Now I got to follow up. If you've got that built in, then that stuff happens automatically. I haven't thought about transaction coordination in a really long time. That's because Amanda does it on the one side, on the purchase side, and we have Bianca do it on the sales side. So it's just kind of automatic. Now Amanda, you could consider Amanda a virtual assistant because she lives, 1,500 miles away. I bring her in town once a year usually, and she's met the couple people at my title company a couple of times, but she does everything from her house, right? So she's considered a virtual employee. But yeah, so does that help, Jeff? I just want to see you make a move and get somebody started, because you guys, I can teach you way more. Like me and Josh have had some really good conversations. Just because he's got his virtual assistant hired and he's like, man, this happened. And I can coach better when I hear those issues come up than if I'm just saying, go get a virtual assistant, get them started. And then we can really dig in and I can help you even more. See what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Did you say you paid if you had a cold caller virtual assistant, would you have to pay more because it is a little bit difficult of a task?
I pay my cold caller from Philippines $6 an hour, which is amazing money over there. Like that's really good money. Yes. Okay, so let's say that cold caller works 40 hours a week. Okay, 6 times 4, $240 times 4 weeks. It's $1,000 a month. That is amazing money, you guys, for the Philippines.
The conversion rate was like 56 times.
Yeah. So I have a friend. It's kind of funny because after I left the event from you guys on Saturday, I immediately left, got in my car, and drove to my lake house and spent a weekend with at my lake house. And I was talking to one of my best buddies. Actually, I told you I've got a note here. I got to get you guys introduced to him. But John Lohman, the girl he's been dating for 6 years is from the Philippines. Her family still lives there. She's been in the United States since she was like 7 or 8 years old, but her family lives in the Philippines. And I told her how much I pay my virtual assistants. And she's like, she knew the exact calculations. Oh, that's 56 times. If you take that money times 56, that's what it equals in the Philippines. Like, man, that's a lot of money. She's like, she immediately said her first words when I told her what my virtual assistants make over there, she goes, they are rich. They are rich. They're making more money than they know what to do with. So think about that. Like Daisy makes $10 an hour, but $6 an hour is a ton of money. So just remember that. They're never leaving you. Like David, your guy that you just hired or gal, you're paying her $6 an hour. That person's never leaving you in a million years.
Matt,
right? That's the average Philippine employee, not virtual assistant, just saying any job in the Philippines. The average pay is $200 to $400 a month. Okay. So what was that you, Brian? Did you have a question?
No, it was Jeff.
Jeff.
I don't know if you cut out for all the other people, but right when you said right after our last meeting, something about a friend of yours, and you cut out for about 20 seconds, and I didn't get to hear what you said. Did it happen?
Did I cut out for anybody else?
No.
No.
You were the only one, Jeff. What I was saying is I left and went to my lake house, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and that friend is dating a girl that's her family's from the Philippines. And I told her that I was doing training on virtual assistants, and I told her that I have a couple of virtual assistants in the Philippines, and she mentioned, I told her what I pay, and she said, man, those people are rich. With what you're paying them, that is so much money that they're rich. So $6 an hour is a ton for the Philippines people. So what was that calculation she did, Tyler? 56?
57.
So like, let's just tell you, 6. So what does that mean? What did she?
That's like the USD, what it would be worth.
So $6 an hour is $336 an hour.
Yeah, it was a different calculation than that. It was 50s to figure out their money. It was for their dollars.
$1
Yeah.
is 50 Filipino dollars.
Yeah, $1 is 57 Filipino dollars. 50, whatever. So anyway, it's a lot of money. So you're doing like you're paying these guys nothing compared to what we make in the US, but they're very happy. They're making a ton. So who else has got Tara, how are you doing with hiring somebody?
So I have a bunch of great candidates, but I was waiting for today's call to find out. I was thinking of getting them started on Podio because that's something that I know I'm not going to really like that much. But I don't know where to start. Having them what to do.
So I'm going to give you guys today. I want to talk. So we talked about last week. We talked about some of the ways to find deals that are great ways that I find deals. We talked postcards, right? We talked cold calling. We talked texting. Now, all of those ways are amazing, and they're the foundational stuff that I built my company on. However, there are free ways to make offers as well, right? There are free ways to get houses under contract. So, Tara, to answer your question, one is I would get them on. If you want to train them on Podio, you got to train them on a specific task on Podio, like when leads come in and they're clearing up they're cleaning up lead sheets, or they're helping you with finding values and stuff, but nothing happens until you get a lead coming in, right? So maybe you put them on helping you with your data finder stuff that we were just talking about, getting your texting going, getting your cold calling going, or you can get them on some of the stuff that we'll talk about right now. which are free ways to get leads and make offers. Now, you guys, I'm just telling you, the reason I do all of these things, in fact, I just went over this stuff with Josh the other day. I do all of these things we do these exact things and have for years. It never stops, but I love the consistency of doing paid marketing. Like I never have to wake up in the morning thinking, well, I wonder if I'm going to have any leads today. Like it just automatically happens. You build that momentum, you will have leads. But one thing that I've done to fill gaps, because there are times when your postcards won't work as well. There's times when cold calling's not producing. There's times when texting might not be producing as quickly. But if you only did MLS offers, you'd have times when that wasn't working. If you only made offers on Craigslist, you'd have times when that wasn't working. What you have to do is you have to bundle everything together as big as possible and get as many offers going out there as possible. Some of it's paid, some of it's free, but if you do that, you will consistently get up every day and have leads to work on and offers to make. So some of the other things that I want you guys to do is, one, now Amanda's, so we had the videos uploaded, but I think Tyler, you said Amanda's got to reload them up.
So, yeah.
Everything I mentioned right now, we have a video on because we do it in my company. For some reason, they've been sucked out of the folder, but they're going to get put back. I think Amanda went up and updated them. So one is making offers on Zillow. Okay, this is something that's so process. You can have your VA make offers for you on Zillow, scraping Zillow, finding good deals, and making offers. Okay, now we have a video that we will upload. I'll get it uploaded today, guys. I didn't realize I just literally learned that it wasn't in there 5 minutes before I jumped on. Well, Amanda and Tyler just updated like 70 videos of ours. So they've been super busy with making sure all the content is super relevant. So, and you guys have all that stuff, or you will back. So one of the things you should do is make these offers on Zillow. Now, the cool thing is, these are unlisted properties. Unlisted, when I say unlisted, I mean they're not on the MLS, okay? So you're gonna scrape Zillow, follow the video that you're gonna have access to, and you're going to watch the video and hand it off to your VA and have your VA start helping you with offers. Now, you guys got my my offer spreadsheet that we talked about last week, where you can put in the level of rehab, light, medium, heavy. You put in the ARV, and then it tells you what to offer. You guys got that, okay? That spreadsheet's in your folder. So you can hand that off to your VA and let your VA run with it, okay? Now, make the offers aggressive. I just, since the COVID-19 thing hit, we were offering 30% below asking price on the MLS, for example. And when the COVID-19 thing hit, I went to 50%. So imagine a house is listed right on the MLS, and we're offering 50% of their asking price. So we didn't have a very high success rate at that aggressive of a discount. But I don't know that until I try it, right? We only got one accepted at that level. But unless I do it, how do I know it's going to work or not, right? You have to try and get activity going. So we just bumped those up. Now we're at 40% off. So we just started that yesterday, and I want to see what that produces. So you guys can do the same thing. When you're doing this, make sure your offers are aggressive. I'd rather see you get a whole bunch of no's and like, man, nothing got accepted. Like some people will be disappointed about that. I want your offers to be so low, nothing gets accepted. Then you bump them up a little bit. Then you see what you can get away with. So you're going to make offers on Zillow. That's free. You're going to have your VA learn that. Secondly, Craigslist. You should be scraping Craigslist, and you should be making offers on Craigslist. The cool thing is, Craigslist, when Craigslist was just kind of getting popular, I did a ton of deals off Craigslist. Then everybody and their brother started doing Craigslist stuff, and it started getting hard to do deals, and it got to the point where it was very, like, we only did a Craigslist deal every couple, 3 months. Well, then Facebook Marketplace came out, and everybody left Craigslist and went to Craigslist Marketplace. So then all of a sudden, Craigslist became more effective again. So we do like a deal a month off of Craigslist. So, but you should be doing, that's free, doesn't cost anything for those leads. That's good activity that your VA should be doing. And we have a video on how to do that. So it was in your folder, it got taken out, we'll get it put back. Next, your MLS offers. You guys should be making MLS offers. I know I posted and I was talking to Ryan. Ryan, you're still with us, right?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Ryan just did. He's still making MLS offers too. We do 2 to 4 a month off the MLS at 30%, 35% off. And now we're a little bit aggressive, so that slowed down a little bit, but we're adjusting. But Ryan's making offers on the MLS too. He's making you're making offers directly to the listing agent, right, Ryan?
Yeah, we kind of play, kind of grease the wheels a little bit and, play the kind of the greed factor.
Yeah. Yeah. And you just got 8 accepted that way?
Yeah. So,
how deep of your discount were you?
It wasn't a big discount off of asking, but the numbers made sense for us. So for our model, we don't have like our materials dialed in like you do, but we do a pretty good job at our, we buy granite remnants, and so we can get rehabs done, these little ranch properties for like 15K. We try and stick to 10 to 20K. We try not to go over 20K. But for a lot of people, our 20K is their 30, 35, maybe even 40. So they can't pay as much as we can. So if we see a property listed for like, 50 or 60K in an area, we know we can sell it for 120. We can pay 55K, put in 20K, and we've got a 45K spread before agent commissions and soft costs. To us, that makes sense. So, and we try and target 40K spreads, and we try and make sure that the profit is double rehab. We just don't want to get bogged down not being able to fulfill rehab, and have these big, huge rehabs, and we can find enough deals. So we're trying to figure out how we can grow it to where we can consistently, 10 deals a month. Just these little ranch properties. So we're doing about, call it 5, I would say, on average right now.
Okay. But so MLS is working for you.
Yeah.
You guys, the other thing too is right now with the MLS is there is a lot of people like there's definitely a distinct advantage by making MLS offers right now. 50%, you might get a few more accepted than what I did, but you may have to go higher than that. So like, again, we've adjusted to 40% off right now. But there's a lot of people that are just sitting on the sidelines. So they're all of a sudden making MLS offers is getting a little bit more fun. So just make sure that that you guys are, you can do 2 ways. Now, like Ryan, he makes the offer directly to the listing agent. In my company, we're brokers. So we make the offers through our own in-house agent, and then that person makes the offer to the listing agent. Now, so what that means is if we buy it, we get a commission, we get part of the commission. So you guys can choose to do however you want. You can find your own real estate agent and make offers directly to that agent, and then they make it to the listing agent, or you can go directly to the listing agent like Ryan does. There's a lot of advantages when it comes to either. If you make the offer directly to the listing agent, then the listing agent is making a lot more money because they got both sides of the commission. So there's a higher chance they'll push your offer. If you make the offer with your own agent, you'll have your own agent working really hard to quickly put the offers in, and right now there's agents are sitting on the sidelines without anything to do. So it wouldn't be hard to pick up a good agent right now. So it's up to you. There is advantages to either, but either one would work. So I would just make it happen. So you're making those offers. And again, what we do is the agent will pull a list of, you can scrape the MLS for what it is you're looking for. If you want vacant properties, they can scrape the list for vacant properties. If you want houses that have been price reduced, you can do that. If you want houses that are listed as is. So you create the scrape, and the filter. They send you the listings. You send those listings to your VA. Your VA plugs those into our sheet, and then it comes out with the offer. Then they send that back to you, and you can forward those offers right up to the real estate agent. Does that make sense? Anybody?
Yes.
No
it does.
problem? Okay, good. I didn't really hear anybody talk through there, but so MLS is something you guys should focus on. Next, Facebook Marketplace. We just talked about that. There's some good deals there. Again, you just never know what you're going to see. A lot of wholesalers are posting deals on the marketplace, and sometimes those are underpriced and they're good deals. You can also negotiate. But that's another free version of just doing a scrape every day of what's on the Facebook Marketplace and pulling those leads. Now, one thing to remember is on Marketplace, you know, if you've got a VA doing this for you, then you need a separate account where they can use a separate account. What we did, now you guys can do this as well, because otherwise they're going to be logged into your Facebook, and you can choose to do that or not. It's up to you. But what we did was we actually got a seasoned account from somebody. We found somebody that had a, you know, sometimes people have more than one Facebook accounts. And we found somebody that had 2 accounts that wasn't using their old account. Well, that old account has history. It's seasoned. It looks like they've been around since 2009. But they stopped using it in, say, 2016, and now they don't need it anymore. We can go in there and change the name and put our name in it and our picture, and now it looks like it's not a brand new account that just started yesterday. See what I'm saying? So that's what we did, and then the VA logs into that account and makes our offers with that account.
The only thing, we deleted all the photos and stuff too, and all the posts.
Yeah, we went in and deleted all the photos and posts and stuff, so that person didn't have, like, you know, we've got a picture of us now, and there's pictures of somebody else in there. You don't want any of that. You just delete all that
The
stuff
only
out.
thing we wanted was the account creation date.
Yeah, we just wanted the account creation date, and it looked like it was 10 years old. Does that make sense?
Hey, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason, and maybe this is not the right way of thinking, but the reason why I was thinking of having them learn Podio first is because don't you have to start right away putting all the information into Podio?
Yep. And but what I'm saying is that's going to take them no time to learn. And the best way to learn is to have leads come in and actually, you know, have real stuff to work on.
Right. Okay.
So yes, they're going to be entering leads like crazy. I mean, that's going to be something. But I'm just telling you right now, if you get a C personality, you show them that one time, and they're going to have it down. They might have a few questions here and there, but it's pretty easy to kind of pick up. But it is something that you are going to want to teach for sure. So anyway, you guys should be scraping Marketplace for deals. Are you guys getting any have you set up your notifications for Marketplace? Do any of you guys do any deals off of Marketplace? Anybody? You should be setting up your notifications so that when a deal gets posted in Marketplace that meets your criteria, you get an automatic notification on that, and you can see that. Really simple to set up. There's wholesalers that are working through that, that are listing properties that you might be able to turn around and re-wholesale. So something to think about. The last thing is wholesalers that I want to talk about. You guys should, to get this activity going and have as many leads coming in as possible. You're making offers on Zillow. You're making offers on Craigslist. You're making offers on the MLS. You're doing the marketplace offers. But lastly, you should get all the wholesalers in your market sending you deals like crazy. You should see all of them. Some of them are going to be crap. Some of them are going to be terrible. There's other ones that are going to be really good. And you might have a buyer that you could turn around, and I don't care if it's $1,000, $2,000, a quick, easy couple $1,000s on a deal you spent no time on, that you could wholesale, I mean, that's still money. I mean, it's pretty unusual for us to do a deal for $1,000, but I can guarantee you we've done one of those types of deals in the last couple of years where we made $1,000 on it, you know, but we didn't have any work into it. So, you know, you get in the habit of knocking out a couple of those here and there, a couple $1,000s a piece, and you got some money coming in right out of the gate with, you didn't have to meet the seller. You spent no money on marketing. You know, you didn't have any time wasted. You didn't have to go to the house. You literally just turn around and take a house from one person and sell it to another. Now, one thing I like to do in those scenarios is I'm just transparent with the guy. Somebody sends me a deal. Hey, I've got a house for you. Check it out. See if you want it. I'll be transparent with them, and I'll tell the person, listen, this doesn't meet what I want to keep, but I have some buyers that I think would buy this if I think it's a legit deal. And I'll tell them, do you care if I send it to a couple of my buyers that I think would sell it or that would buy it that are legit? And if they say, no, I don't want you to do that, then don't do it. But most of them, if they have any sense on making money, most of them will say, I don't care who you sell it to as long as it closes. So I'll just tell them right up front. And then there's no surprise. Then when they see it on some website or something, or other buyer sees it, and they're not mad at you because they know you already asked. And then when that wholesaler hits them back, hey, isn't this one of your deals you sent me directly? And he's like, yeah, I told Matt he could market it to his buyers. So, you know, just no big deal. And they just don't care. But as long as you're upfront with them, that's how I like to do it.
Matt, isn't there some sort of document you would have to sign between the wholesaler and yourself?
You're taking it down. There's two ways to do it. You can do a option contract, an exclusive option,
Okay.
or you can just say, I want the property. I'm going to put it under contract, and I'm going to turn around. And so you're basically double closing or assigning the deal.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't want to market the property you don't have legal control over. Does that make sense?
That does.
So typically get as many of those wholesalers as you possibly can. Right now, the biggest complaint I hear from wholesalers is, man, my buyer fell out. My buyer fell out. My buyer fell out. My buyer didn't close. They're frustrated. If you can talk to some wholesalers, they'll send you deals. Again, Tara, that's something that would go right into your Podio system, right? You're taking notes on it. You've got it documented. It's in Podio, and now you're sending it out. You know, so it's a good lead.
Right.
And just to be honest with you guys, this is good practice for you. If you haven't done a ton of deals, this is a great way with no money to get deals to look at, analyze deals, and start building that mental brain that you need that spots deals from a mile away. People always ask me, I don't know what a good deal is. I'm like, well, okay. If you looked at one deal, could you tell if that's a good deal or bad deal? If you've only seen one deal, no, I have no idea if it's good or bad. Right. So don't buy it. Right. If you've looked at two deals, is it pretty easy to see of the two deals, which one's the better deal? Yeah, it's obvious. Okay, this one's a better deal. So that gives you education on what is a good deal. Now, what if you've looked at 10 deals? Is it pretty easy to look at 10 deals and know which one of those 10 is the best deal? Again, yes. The more deals you look at, the more you're training your brain to spot what a good deal is. What if it's 100? You've looked at 100 deals. So don't be afraid to spend a little time looking at deals, even if they end up not being something that you should spend any time on. You know, it's good practice looking at some of these deals. So the main thing is repetition. Repetition will get your brain sharp on what it is. You'll be able to spot a deal from a mile away. If a wholesaler sends me a deal, and I would say under 5 seconds, I know if it's something I want to buy or not, because I've done 4,000 plus deals. I just know what a good deal is when I see it. And I know if it's going to be something I'm going to spend any time on or not. But the thing is, you guys get deals coming at you. And I'm telling you, one of the first times I ever took a deal from a wholesaler, a wholesaler sent it to me. He wanted a $5,000 assignment fee, which I was happy to give him at closing. I turned around and re-wholesaled and double closed that deal and made $40,000 on one of the first deals I ever did from a wholesaler. So why didn't he make $45,000? Well, he didn't have the buyers list. He spent his time and effort on finding deals and no time on buyers. And some wholesalers are just acquisitions people. They just want to focus on the purchase. Others focus on the dispositions. They just want to be really good at finding a deal that they can put no effort into, but get really good at finding buyers that will buy them. That just seems to be how these wholesalers end up working out. So, so make sure you've got to be looking at deals all the time. So I would get those 5 ways going as soon as possible to get as many deals coming into your pipeline as you possibly can. Any questions on that?
On Zillow, Matt, you said whatever is listing on Zillow for sale, we should be making an offer on that, right?
Like the for sale by owner ones, I like, yeah. So we have a video on it, Robbie, where I basically show you how to screen out the properties with the most equity really fast. So what it is the shortened version of it is you're going on to Zillow, you're looking for the houses that are not listed by an agent, and you're searching those by filtering those by Zestimate versus asking price. So let's say a house is worth $100,000 and the Zestimate on a house is $100,000. Doesn't matter if the Zestimate means anything, right? We're looking at a spread. So let's say the Zestimate's $100,000 and they're asking $42,000, right? Might be something to look at, right? That might be something to make an offer on. But if the Zestimate's, $100,000 and they're asking $120,000, might not be something we spend any time on. Now, typically, a Zestimate is off. If it's off for an area, it's off on most of the neighborhoods, not just one particular neighborhood. So it's just a starting place to start a filter. Does that make sense? So you filter out the data, Zestimate versus asking price, and you start making offers on it, and you see what happens.
Okay.
One of the things that I showed a friend of mine, we list all of our wholesale deals on Zillow too. Why? Because they sell fast. I taught how to list, and you guys have this in your training. But I taught a friend of mine from Chicago how to list properties on Zillow like 6 months ago, and he doesn't even sell any other way now. That way he'd never done it. He switched over to Zillow. He started selling all of his houses in a day or two on Zillow, and now that's the only disposition technique he uses because it works so well. So you can do it both ways. You can do it both ways.
Matt, to do
What's that?
Do you have to be a broker
No.
to get on Zillow to list your properties?
Nope. Or sell by owner.
That's great.
Mm-hmm. What other questions you guys have? Anything else on the virtual assistant side? Any other issues you're running into? Anything else you want to discuss?
I have questions about buyers.
Okay, let's do it.
So, okay, so I hired somebody to do a quick flyer design on Fiverr.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Just to kind of, to get a quick success in there. And I found a bunch of, they have what services to find cash buyers. They have, they can build up your Facebook and your Instagram followers and stuff like that. So cash buyers. Okay. So I pull like indie deeds sold. So those are like a lot of off market cash solds. I pull MLS cash solds. I pull auction and tax records, tax sale cash solds. So when I hire these people, are they actually going to go out to Facebook and like Bigger Pockets and and meet up and find or are they just going to give me the list that I already have?
If you hire somebody to give you a cash buyer,
Fiverr, yeah.
You know what you should do, Ryan, is it's really like you can get those lists for like $5 or $10.
Yep.
for like 50 or 100 buyers or 200 buyers or something like that, it's really cheap. I don't know where, every single one of them might have a different channel.
Yep.
I'm guessing it's a software-based system, but I would give it a shot. I would pull your list of cash buyers. I would have them pull a list. I'd compare the two, spend $5 or $10 and see if it's got
do it all.
value there, and see if it's something that that works. That's what I would do.
Gotcha. And do you just start sending them deals, or do you actually contact them and kind of vet them and go through, ask them?
I strictly go off of their star review. I like people with at least 50 reviews, and I like 4.9 or higher. I would do 4.8 too. So you got 4.8 or higher, 50 plus reviews. If they've got 1 or 2 5-star reviews, that's just not enough for me to get excited. The only way I would use a brand new person on Fiverr with 1 or 2 5-star reviews is if they were so much cheaper than everybody else, I'd probably give them a shot.
Gotcha.
But for the most part, I look for 50 plus, 4 or 9 and higher, and I look at their reviews and I see what they've done and if other people are happy, and I give them a shot because it's so cheap. It's almost not worth any more time or effort, and that's a pretty good indicator if you're going to get what you want.
Gotcha.
We've been very happy with what we've given Fiverr to do. I've only gotten a couple, and we've had a lot of gigs done. I've only had a couple that were like, this is crap.
Gotcha.
One of them was writing emails.
Only paying 10, 25 bucks.
I hired this gal to do. I hired this gal to help me write marketing emails, and I was pretty skeptical that was something that I could get done for cheap on Fiverr, and it was crap. Like the emails were terrible, and I just let the girl know, like, man, I don't know who's hiring you, but I would never hire you again. Not like I'm not trying to be mean to you, but you're just not good at that thing. It's not something you should do. So it was so generic and so terrible. I was like, I can't believe I even bought that. But that's about the only time I've ever had anything bad done that I wasn't happy with. And I still only risked like 10, 15 bucks, it's cheap.
Yep. So when you get these new cash buyers, I mean, say you get a couple hundred new cash buyers, do you reach out to them to vet the cash buyers to find out if they're looking for duplexes or flips or rentals, or do you just start sending them deals? And
what you need to do, if you reach out to them cold and it's a cold email, you may get somebody to respond. So yes, you can send a cold email, keep it super simple. Your title should be quick question. Your body should be, hey, my name's Ryan. Quick question for you. Are you still buying houses in the Indianapolis area? Thanks in advance. And then that's it, and see who responds. Keep it one sentence, because that way it's so easy to respond that sometimes people will, but they may not know you, so they may not respond. Now, the second way you could do it, and probably way more effective, is give that list to a virtual assistant, or have somebody on Fiverr do it, or have your virtual assistant do it. You could hire it out on Fiverr as well. The same list, you could almost maybe even ask Fiverr person to do this. But you could hand that off to a virtual assistant and say, hey, go through each one of these people and find their Facebook profile link and send me a spreadsheet. And then you could hand that off. You could either do it yourself or hand it off to a VA and have them send these people a private message on Facebook, or friend request them first. You could do both. In your case, Ryan, I would absolutely friend request them and see if they're buying. Send them a message. Hey, you still buying an Indy? Cash. Super simple. If they see a Facebook message, then they can research you. If they get a cold email, they have no idea who you are. Why is this guy emailing me? If they see your Facebook profile, they're like, oh, this guy's doing deals. Yeah, I'm going to reach back out to him. Yeah, Ryan, I just still do cash. Yeah. See what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
That should be your move. That will add buyers to your list, and that will add them fast. And
I
then
still
what
use
you do to
the
take it
priority
one
squeeze
step,
play.
what's
And that
that?
works great. I still use the priority squeeze play, and that works great. But like I need to, if I'm going to ramp up my wholesaling, I need to add, 25, 50 new buyers a week, just
100%.
consistently.
And
And
you need to add,
hopefully find like one a week I can wholesale a new deal too.
one thing you need to do once you communicate with these people on Facebook is you need to say, hey man, I just want to verify too. I like to, I want to verify your email. Is this still your email? And you send them their email because your VA already got that for you, and they might say, oh man, no, that email is like way old. I don't use that one anymore. You send it to this one. Now you've captured an email. Remember what I told you guys, send an email, sell a house. Now you've captured their email, and they might say, no, dude, I don't want any emails. Just send it to me right here on Facebook. But at least they communicate on Facebook, and that's where you've got. Now you do a deal with them, you're going to get their email, or there just could be testing you out. They could be saying, man, this guy looks legit, but I don't want him having my email yet. He can just send me a deal. If he sends me a really good deal, I'll give him my email.
Cool.
Always be building your social media. Always use your social media as a way to get emails. All of you guys. Social media is there for an audience. That audience is to be captured for their email. Follow me on Instagram. You'll see it. I'm always asking for emails. I asked for one yesterday. My job is to put as many emails in my database as possible, because if Facebook shuts down tomorrow, I still have all the contacts. If Instagram shuts my account down tomorrow, I've still captured emails. People on Instagram, there's been influencers with 1 million people. They made one mistake. Their accounts are shut down. They did not capture emails. Their business was over overnight. They closed. They're done. Now they're starting over. So always keep emails. And if you're using a email server like MailChimp, which is what we use ConvertKit, we use MailChimp, always download your emails at least once a week. So if MailChimp shuts you down and takes your emails away, this happens too. They could shut down your account. You've lost all your emails. Now you don't have them. Make sure you're always downloading your emails so you have them outside of MailChimp. That makes sense? Send an email, sell a house. Send an email, sell a house. That's what you want to get to. Build your social media.
Sorry, I have another buyer's question.
Yep.
How do you vet them to know that they really are cash buyers? Like they have the cash?
Well, in Ryan's case, what he just did was he asked for, they basically, it comes from a cash solds list. So they bought a house for cash, which showed up on the list. That's from the software program that pulls the deeds. Now, if you just are driving down the street and you see a We Buy Houses signs all cash, write that down, talk to the person, always, never pass up that opportunity. But you don't really know if that person buys for cash or not. There's questions you could ask that you could try to firm up that, but you don't really know. Your job is to gather information, build your list, get them a deal, and see what happens. Right? You'll know right away if somebody's legit. And you can have a conversation with somebody and know whether or not they truly will buy. They could be a brand new wholesaler just faking it. And that's okay too. Every single one of us was brand new at one time. There was a day when I had never done a deal and I was talking to people on the phone and they probably thought I was a rock star. So, but that's okay, because that new wholesaler might know a guy that buys a lot of houses. You just never know. So build the list. Any other questions, you guys? Anything else I can help you on for the week? David, you good?
Do you guys, what's the best way to communicate with the VAs? And like, say I started them at 20 hours a week. I still want them available for like 8 hours a day. Is that too much to ask, or they're just giving me pushback there? And
well, here's the thing is, if you hire them and you want to tie up 8 hours, you're probably going to have to pay them for 8.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Are you saying like, yeah, you know, I don't know when the
I
calls
just
are
kind
going
of
to
want
come
them on
in?
call.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
right.
just want them on call in case I think it's something for them to do. I want them to be able to do it within an hour, you know?
Mhm. Well, I mean, give them hours, give them set hours. Like, let's say, hey, I want you to work from 9 to 1 o'clock every day, but are you available if I need you to work extra hours and I call you? Are you available for that? And just set it up like that.
Tracing it, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then are you communicating within that Upwork messaging system or
Well, you're going to
emailing
get them
them?
a Google Voice number, right? You're going to get them a Google Voice number. You can communicate with them there too. But I think you can go through Upwork too. It's up to you.
Okay, you can give them your Google Voice and then call them that way? Can you do that?
Or email. So you want to set them up with an email that you have control of. Like, for example, let's say your company is, Lincoln Wholesaling, Lincoln Wholesaling. You could have David at lincolnwholesaling.com, but you hire a VA that's named, Ralph. So Ralph's got Ralph at Lincoln Wholesaling. You've got their own email set up that you can control. What's that, Ty?
You'd have to pay for those to start a business on Google.
Yeah, that costs something if you want to do it that way. You don't have to do it that way.
But you just make free Gmail accounts.
You can make free Gmail accounts too, and you have the password for them.
Okay. Set them up with their own email.
But then they have their own Google Voice, and then you can call them through that or send them messages through that. Any other questions? Robbie, you good?
No, I have some questions. So I pulled all the lists. I got lists from Exact Data,
Mm-hmm.
and I got from the what do you call
Listability.
listability, and then I got a skip trace to Data Finder. So what's the first thing you want me to focus? Send the mailers out or RVMs?
What area are you doing?
Fresno, California.
Okay. You have a cold caller yet?
No.
Okay. Do direct mail. Send a direct mail
Mhm.
with that list. And then I would, how many are you going to send? How many direct mail pieces?
The total list I got is around 5,000.
Okay.
3,500 one and 2,500 in one.
Okay. So get, do half the list for direct mail.
Okay.
Send the second half next week. Send the first half this week, second half next week. Now, this list you're going to have for a while, right? You can use this over and over and over again. Start your direct mail. Get that started first because you're 10 days out before you're going to get a response. By the time they make it and send it and people get it and call you, it's 10 days, okay? So then I would probably cold call that list too. That's a really fast way while you're waiting for the direct mail to hit.
Mhm.
That's a way to get responses quick. And you could also text it. You can go through Sherpa and text that list too.
Okay.
But that's what I would do. I would get your direct mail. Direct mail is working really good.
With the same Google Street View postcard?
Google View and Third Notice, yeah.
Okay.
I sent we're toggling back and forth between Google View and Third Notice right now.
Got it.
With that exact
Where are
data
your
list,
calls go? What's that, Dave?
with that exact data list, are you guys getting a lot of land in there? Mine seemed like really high. I just bought it. It just seemed like there was a lot of vacants. On those vacants, do they still mix in land, do you know, like lots?
They probably do on some. Yeah, I'm sure it happens.
Is there a way to filter through that?
Ask them and see.
Okay.
I mean, I asked her specifically SFR, like single family resident.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure where we got any vacant land.
Yeah. You never know. I don't know what kind of land, if there's any land value out there for you, David. But if you do get one of those leads, you can always try to wholesale it. Right now, builders aren't buying. So a little harder, right?
Yeah.
So Robbie, did you get set up with Answer One or Nexa?
Not yet.
Okay.
And there was one thing. I'm not sure whether the Google form you guys use for Nexa is in the document folder.
No, because that's Podio.
The Google form.
We don't have a Google form, it's Podio.
It's Podio.
Yeah, it's Podio web form. So, but I can print out.
But you can set up a Google.
Set up a Google form, just I didn't give them one. I can give them the questions that are in our Podio one.
Yeah, we'll put it in the file.
Okay.
But what happens is that's basically it's a Google form, but it's a web form for Podio. So when they get that call and they put that information in that Podio form, it automatically goes into Podio.
So if you don't have Podio,
Got it. So Nexa will be getting a call out of the direct mail though, right?
Mm-hmm.
And other
Call-
RPMs and voicemails are going to be getting back through call rail messages.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. You're close, man. You're gonna have some leads.
Also, I need those.
Hit all the different directions: cold calling, texting, direct mail. And then when you get your VA going here, you're close on that. Get these other 5 ways we just discussed.
Yeah, sure. I will.
You have your buyers list built out in Fresno?
I have, honestly, I've been networking for almost a year. We did almost 4 or 5 flips through wholesalers though.
Do you have this guy? Fresno. I had a guy from Fresno. Did I ever ask you about him?
Braden, we were together at the dinner at Steve.
Mhm.
Remember?
Yeah.
Braden.
But there was another guy that came to my office, Mike. Gosh dang it, what was his name?
Jason?
Mike. I think his name was Mike. Mike Osborne.
No, I don't know him.
Is your Fresno numbers out there 559?
Yes.
Yeah. Mike Osborne. This guy asked to come out and visit my office because he does similar volume to me, not quite as much, but he's out there in Fresno. His company's name is Osborne Homes.
Okay.
Big buyer.
I think I saw him with Don Costa in the group somewhere. I know what you're talking about.
Ravi, I'm sending you him right now.
Already.
I just sent you his contact. Any other questions, you guys?
I have a few more. I have kind of like a more of a financial kind of accounting one.
Okay.
So, I have investors that will invest into my fund or into, just private mortgages, private lenders.
Mm-hmm.
So when that money comes into QuickBooks, it's not marked as income, but when it goes out for purchases, materials, labor, it shows as expenses. So I can't seem to get a straight answer from anybody on how we do that in QuickBooks so my P&L doesn't look like crap. And I'm applying for these SBA loans, but I need a P&L, and my P&L looks crappy.
Wait, say that again. What was the incoming money?
Okay, so say I have like somebody invest $300K into my fund, into my PPM fund, and then I start allocating that money.
Mm-hmm.
So that $300K doesn't show up as income coming in, but it's showing up as expenses going out, because I'm using it to purchase properties for rehab materials and different expenses. So all of a sudden my P&L looks is in the
Do you have a
negative.
CPA?
Yeah, I just got a new one, and I'm not getting a straight answer.
they have to ask if they can code them in different.
Like it just doesn't.
There's a code. And I'm not a QuickBooks expert, Ryan, but there's
code. They have to put them in as a different class or a different type of transaction.
Yeah, it's just been a little frustrating because doesn't seem like this is something like so incredibly unique that I'm the only one that's ever, raised money like this.
Hey Ryan, let me ask my CFO.
Okay, I appreciate it, because it sounds like that should be something right off the top of the head they should know. Like they should know what to do, and I'm a little frustrated that I don't have an answer, and that like it's basically held up me applying for those SBA loans for 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's not good.
So yeah, I'm kind of.
What other questions you have?
So, okay. In regards to Facebook and Instagram, to just kind of build up your followers list, you know, to,
Yep.
you know, find cash buyers, investors, just, you know, just a little bit of everything. I guess what were the, you know, for Facebook and for Instagram, what are like the kind of, I guess, the specific things you would recommend, you know, that we all do?
Micro commitments. You have to build engagement with people. So asking them surveys, posting videos, asking for their opinions. When somebody sends you a message, you respond back. If somebody sends you a like, you give them thumbs up. Those are all little micro commitments. And the more micro commitments you get, the more people will be more engaged. That's when more comments you get on your post. Instagram and Facebook kick in their algorithm and they say, this guy's got good stuff because he's getting a lot of comments. I better share it with more people. The more people that see it, the more micro commitments you can get, the more people follow you. Next thing you know, like I did, I went from a few hundred followers and in less than 1 year got to 4,000 on Instagram. I'm not saying that's like amazing, but I thought it was pretty decent, you know? So it's all about micro commitments. Getting engagement with people, asking surveys, asking questions, sharing stuff, posting, getting comments, liking comments, replying to comments, all that stuff.
Gotcha.
Okay, what else? Anyone else? You guys know what to do? You excited? Nervous?
Both.
Okay, well, if that's all for today, then we'll wrap it up. I gave you guys plenty of stuff to do. By the end of the week, you got to have a VA hired, okay? Get the person hired. I don't care if it's 5 hours a week, 10 hours a week. Get somebody hired. Get them going. Let's get some activity going. We got to get offers going. We got to get leads coming in. Leads coming in gets to offers. Offers gets to accepted offers. Accepted offers gets to finding cash buyers, sending those deals to cash buyers. That gets you to closing and making money. It's not hard. I just got to get your leads coming in. So that's your homework for this week. In 1 week, we will meet again. Let's have stuff to talk about. Let's talk counter offering. Let's talk about cool stuff. Sound good?
Yep.
Sounds
All right.
great.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. So we'll see you guys next week.
All right.
All right. Have a good week, guys.
You too.
Thanks.
Thank you.
See ya. Yep. Bye.